I see this happen all the time, and it affects people a lot, and it can also affect your maintenance of being able to carry on the diet that you're doing, or carry on the progression of what you're doing within your journey that you're on with regards to weight loss. Because most of the time people zone in on weight loss as their form of progression, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We should be looking at weight loss as a form of progression. But if you have a negative mindset of stepping on them scales every time and getting disheartened that you may have put weight on, or you're not losing weight at the moment whilst you're on a diet, then we need to rethink things a little bit. Because most of the time, people who want to lose weight, it's not necessarily the weight loss that they want, it's everything else behind that. It's feeling more happy and confidence with the way they look and feel. It's having more energy levels, it's less stress, it's the form of accomplishments that they're achieving at the moment with feeling better and looking better. These things matter. And if someone says to you that you're losing weight, that can just give you that boost that you need as well, that you are actually doing a good job, and it's not necessarily the scales that matter. So all of these things matter. All them things entail probably more of an important part of the weight loss process than them numbers on the scales. But we always look down at them scales and start to think negatively if we're not losing weight or we're at maintenance with it. So for reassurance purposes as well, to help you guys out, is with weight loss, we generally tend to think of this as fat loss. So if I relate it to fat loss, and if I was to say to you, okay, you want to lose a pound of body fat, that's 3,500 calories. That's a lot of calories to take away within your daily diet. That will probably take you, whilst working really hard on a calorie deficit throughout the week, you probably work at around about a pound of body fat on that if you were to do that really well. So that's probably one thing to think about, and sometimes we may not lose a pound of body fat within that period of time, but having that understanding in your mind that that's a lot of calories to take away. But sometimes you may find that you fluctuate with weight every single day. You're putting a pound on, and then you're weighing a little bit less, and then you're at maintenance for a little bit, and you're like, well, how am I changing? Is this my body fat? Am I losing it sometimes and then I'm gaining it back on? No, that's not necessarily the case either, because our weight relates to so many different things. Muscle mass, if we're training really hard at the moment and we're increasing that, that's probably going to help us with our overall performance and how we look and feel as well. So that's a positive. But also at the same time, if we're consuming things like carbohydrates, they retain water. If we consume 1 gram of carbohydrates, you're going to retain 4 grams of water. So if you add that up, say for instance you were to eat more carbohydrates, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's going to help you perform a lot better, that gives you the reassurance that, this is probably a little bit of water weight. I'm just carrying a little bit more water weight, and that's fine. You're not going to look any bigger whilst doing this. It's just that scale may be looking a little bit higher than what it is usually because you're consuming more carbohydrates. So it's having that reassurance of all these things that are happening within your body at the moment, which can affect your weight. And weight loss is so difficult to do as well. It's having that understanding that we're not always going to be in a calorie deficit all the time. It's important to make sure that sometimes we should be at maintenance to help with things like recovery for purposes on that. Also as well, our overall performance. We're not going to be able to perform really well and exercise at our very best if we're in a calorie deficit all the time. It's important to make sure that we fluctuate this from time to time. And it just gives you that reassurance that weight loss is probably something that we probably need to be looking at over a long period of time. And also as well, having that understanding of looking at other things to keep that positive mindset in place can help you out with your overall goal. So you're feeling more happy, feeling more confident about yourself, and then you're less likely to stop that goal if things aren't progressing because you're not constantly looking down at them scales. So I hope that makes sense, guys. If you've got any questions at all with regards to weight loss, please let me know, and I will speak to you soon.